I'm going to show you exactly how to make a YouTube thumbnail step by step, just like the one we are looking at right now. So if you're looking for a complete tutorial, I'll show you exactly step by step on how to make an engaging and clickbait YouTube thumbnail. Then keep on watching. This is the perfect video. Hi, my name is Akinwale Olani from Highnet Mender, your African creative entrepreneur. In this channel, we show you the best tips, tools, and tutorials on how to grow your business online via online video, leveraging the power of YouTube and social media marketing. So, subscribe to my channel for more upcoming video. Probably you are a total beginner or a business owner who recently have discovered the power of YouTube, and you have discovered how YouTube can drive targeted traffic to your online business. Then your YouTube thumbnail is a must for you to get right. You have to know how to design a good YouTube thumbnail. If you don't know how to make an engaging YouTube thumbnail, I have a lot of tutorial in this channel that will walk you through step by step on how to make one. Now let's switch to the system where I'll be showing you exactly how to make one. Here we are on Photoshop. The package I'll be using is Photoshop. So with Photoshop, you can make an irresistible YouTube thumbnail. And the first thing we have to do is to go to File, click on New, and what you have to set is the size of your YouTube thumbnail. By standard, the standard size for YouTube thumbnail is 1920 by 1080p, meaning 1920 by wideness and 1080 by height. And you have to make sure that your unit of measurement is on pixel. This is very, very important. Now, just like what you are seeing there is already on 920, and this is the height 1080. After that, click on Create. After inserting my layer, the next thing I have to do is to start making background. And to make background, there are several ways you can make background in Photoshop, but I'm going to show you how to make a simple, good looking background. And I'm going to be blending more than one background. So what I have to do is to come to this tool called Marquee tool. Click on the Marquee tool and draw the Marquee tool across your layer. Then for me to have used Marquee tool, so I have to come here and create the marquee hue is not yet a layer. So for me to make it a layer, I have to click on this icon, then click on new layer, then give it a name. I can give it red bg and click on OK, which is going to create a layer. Whenever you are adding objects to your layer, you will see it here. So this is the new layer that we have just created. Now what I want to do next is to apply color to this marquee layer, and to do that I have to click on my fill tool, then come to the foreground color, click here and look for any good color. I'll be using red for this background. Then click on it and click on the layer. So what I want to do next is to apply another background, and like I said, I want to blend background. I want to make it two background. So to do that, I'm going to duplicate this by pressing Ctrl C and Ctrl V, which is going to create another layer. Then what I'm going to do next is to click on this fill tool, then go back to the foreground color, and I want this to be a mixture of red and black. So I'm going to pick it from here, then click on OK and also fill this. So what I'm going to do next is to blend this background together, and to do that I'll come to this place which is called lasso tool. I'm going to use the free lasso tool. Click here and drag it this way. I'm drawing. That's what I'm doing right now. So you can draw something like this. So just draw it this way and drop it. Then for me to blend it, I have to go to select, then go to modify and click on feather. Now here you are expected to enter the percentage of the feathering that you want to add to this background. And what I mean by feathering is the blending percentage. So it's okay on this 250, then click on OK. Then what you have to do next is to press delete. So the more you press delete, the more it's going to blend it. But I'm going to press delete once. This is what I want. It is okay this way. Then what you have to do next is to start adding your image. And to add image in Photoshop, what you have to do is to go to file, then click on place embedded. I have an image that I've set aside for this tutorial, so I'm going to use this, and then click on this, which is going to apply the image. Then drag this depending on where you want your image to be added. So I'm going to add it somewhere here this way and increase the size. After adding your image, you always see this around your image. This is your resize now, so just click any of this angle and increase the size. Yeah, I'm going to increase it this way. Now it is okay this way. You may ask yourself, do you like the image this way, or do you want to add like a kind of stroke around it? which is going to separate the image from the background. We can do that by coming to make sure the image is selected, then click on your layer, then come to this effects, it's called effect, then click on stroke. Here we can add, like you can see what we have there. This is used to separate the image from the background. You can increase it more if you want to increase it. You can see the more I'm increasing, but I don't want it to go down because it seems as if it's covering part of my skin. So I'm going to leave it this way. You can also tweak this, always adjust this way if that is what you want. You can drag this to see it properly. I think I like it this way. So what I'm going to do next is to click on OK. So the next thing we start doing is to add our text, start putting in our title. And to add title in Photoshop, what you have to do is to click on this T, which is called your text tool. Click on the text tool and click on the layer. You can click anywhere on the layer to add your text. Let's hold on for this to come up. Now click anywhere on the layer and type in your text. I'm going to put this on capital letter, how to make. Yeah, so click on your pick tool. You can click on it and hold down your control key plus T to apply the resize node. So with this you can resize the text. Let's resize it this way. And one thing I want to do here is to change the typeface of my text. I don't want it on this impact. This typeface is called impact. I'm going to click on it that way and press Ctrl T to press Ctrl T to activate the character tool for my text. So the typeface I'm using here is called Meria Pro. Let me see if I have Meria Pro. Yeah, I have it here. So let's click on Meria Pro. And what you want to do on this Meria Pro is to click here and click. Do you want to bold it or make it normal, depending on what you want. So I want to bold it this way. This is okay for me. I'm going to leave it this way. Yeah. What I have to do next is to put on more text, and to do that, you can, instead of me clicking on the text tool and clicking down to type to start a fresh type, what I'm going to do is to go back to my layer, click on the text tool and press Ctrl C, Ctrl V, or you can use Ctrl J. It's the same thing to duplicate the text, which is going to give you what you are looking here right now. So I'm going to drag this down to this place, then double click on it. When you double click on it, it's going to highlight it immediately, and you can replace the text. So a custom. Yeah. Now click on the pick tool again, select your the text and hold down Ctrl key plus T to apply the size node, and then increase the size this way. Yeah, I like it this way. Yeah, so you can bring this one here this way, then bring this one here like this, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to duplicate this again. Click on the text, Ctrl C and Ctrl V. When you press Ctrl C, it's going to copy the text, and you have to press Ctrl V, hold down the Ctrl key and V to paste the copied text. Then bring this one down here again, double click on it in order to highlight it, and then replace the text by typing on it. Then I'm going to type YouTube. Yeah, I want the UBE to be on small letter, but that is how YouTube fonts look like. And for this, I'm still going to stretch I'm going to work on the YouTube again. If anytime you want to resize your text, you have to hold that Control key and the T key in order to apply the resize node. So with this, you can resize it whichever way you want. So I'm going to increase this one. I'm going to increase it this way. So I'm going to use my shift key to stretch this more, something like this. I'm going to again shift and stretch it something like what you are looking at right now. Or I may decide to change the typeface. For example, I like using impact on this phone, the one you are looking at right now, the YouTube. And to do that, press Ctrl T again to bring out your character tool. Then I'm going to click it and look for impact. Yeah, this is it. So let's click on impact. So this is going to be okay for what I want to do. Then again, Ctrl T to apply the size, to then stretch it. I'm holding down my shift key in order to stretch it. When you don't hold down your shift key and you stretch, it's going to stretch it or reduce it proportionally, expanding it outward or inward. So make sure you hold down your shift key. So this is what I want. And what I'm going to do next is to start applying color to the YouTube. And I'm going to use the color for YouTube, the normal color for YouTube. And as we all know, the hue is on black, so I'm going to align the hue. Then come here, and so what I'm going to do next is to add inverse to the tube. I want the inverse, the tube has to be on that white, while the reverse is going to be on red. And to do that, what I have to do is to come here and select this rounded rectangle. So let's click on the rounded rectangle and drag to create something like this. So I'm going to click here and change the color to this color, red, which is this is what I want. Then what we have to do next is to send it to the back of the tube. To do that, come here. In case this thing is not on, what you have to do is to click on this layer. Click on the layer for it to pop up. Now drag this below this text, which is going to give you what you are looking at right now. I'm okay with this. So what I have to do next is to start adding more text, and what I'm going to put here is thumbnail. So again, click on this text and hold down your control key plus C and control key plus V again to duplicate that. Then bring this below the YouTube. I'm going to double click on that again and type thumbnail. So I want this to be all on capital letter, thumbnail. How to make a YouTube thumbnail. Yeah, so here I'm going to make it this way, bring it down, hold down control key plus T again to apply the size to and stretch it this way. I'm putting down my shift key to stretch, to make that stretch. Then bring it up this way, a little this way, and press enter, which is okay. At times when you apply text like this and those texts are white, you may want to you may feel like applying shadow to it. What shadow does, it is going to add, like, kind of make that text to pop up, especially white. White is not that visible at times on most colors. So what you want to do is to apply shadow to such color. Now I'm going to apply shadow to every one of these ones. And to do that, let me start with the thumbnails. Click on it, go to your layer, then click on the FX and select drop shadow. Now with this, what you have to do is to work on the distance. You can see this is work on the distance. You can also work on the, this is the thickness of the shadow, how dark you want the shadow to be. And I think it's okay this way. As you can see, immediately I added that with, there is a kind of there is a kind of contrast between the white and the black. So I'm going to do the same thing to the custom. So let's click on the custom, go back to layer, FX, click on drop shadow and do the same thing to that. I'm going to click on OK. It's already on the proper setting. Click on the FX again, drop shadow, and then click on OK. So what I'm going to do next again is to add beginner's guide, how to make a custom YouTube thumbnail, beginner's guide. And to do that, I'm going to use this YouTube. I'll be using typeface called impact. So select the YouTube and hold down Ctrl C and Ctrl V to duplicate that. Then you can drag this out this way. Then double click on it and replace the text beginners guide. I'm going to select my pick tool again, hold down my control key plus T to apply the resize node and resize it this way. You can always resize from any of this angle. I'm going to resize it that way, this way. Then I want to be exactly under this. So I'm holding down my shift key again, hold down the shift key and stretch this downward a little, like this. And I also want the beginner's guide to be on white. So I'm going to double click on that. Then hold down Control plus T to activate the character pane. Then click on this and make this white. Then click on OK for it to take effect. So what I want to do next again is I don't want the beginner's guide to, I don't want to leave it this way. I want to reverse it. So what I'm going to do is to select the rectangle, to click here, select the rectangle to, and draw a rectangle around the beginner's guide this way. And yeah, I think I like it on that color, black. So I'm going to click on my layer and send it behind the beginner's guide by clicking on it and dragging it below the beginner's guide. This is what I want. This is what I've been trying to achieve. Now this is how to make a good looking YouTube thumbnail. It is as simple as this. I believe there are a lot of people that are browsing the internet that are looking for videos to watch. If you can make a YouTube thumbnail to be engaging, to be interacting, to be clickbait, definitely you are going to get a lot of click through rate, and that's what this video is all about. And before I round up, please, if you like this tutorial, please, I want you to hit the thumbs button, and if you enjoy what I'm doing and you gain value in this tutorial, please subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. This is very important to this channel, as YouTube use this to bring more of my upcoming video to your doorsteps. And again, don't quit yet, please. I have a PowerPoint slide that I've set aside for you to explain to you step by step why your YouTube thumbnail is very important when it comes to YouTube marketing. You need to know how YouTube thumbnails work and why you have to master the YouTube thumbnail, why you have to be creating a YouTube thumbnail yourself. Now, but before I close this package, the next thing you have to, which is the last thing here, is to go to file and save this work. I'm going to go to file and click on save. Go to file, click on save. Now I'm going to click on this. You have to save your thumbnail as a JPEG file. This is the standard format that YouTube recommended. It has to be on JPEG file, and please don't save it as Photoshop document. When you are creating something like this on Photoshop, it's going to be on PSD, Photoshop document. This type of file will be very heavy. It will take time for it to upload on YouTube, and in fact YouTube is going to reject it because YouTube does not recommend Photoshop doc. So what you have to do is to click here and look for a JPEG format. So I've seen one, so let's click on the JPEG one. Let's click on this and then give it a name. I'm going to give it to banner thumbnail. Then you can click on save, then click OK. So it is saved as JPEG format. So with this, is going to be these are light file. This type of file, they are very light, that can be easily uploaded on YouTube. Like I said, I have a PowerPoint slide designed for you in order for you to know the fact about YouTube thumbnail and why you should take your YouTube thumbnail very seriously. So let's PowerPoint. Now, these are the facts about YouTube thumbnail. Your thumbnail is the gateway for viewing your video. Again, your thumbnail, this is the gateway for viewing your video. If your thumbnail is not right, if it's not well designed, if it's not engaging or interacting, if it's not clickbait, definitely people will leave your video and go for other videos. And don't forget, you are not the only one doing that. You are not the only one on that particular niche. There are other competitors that are doing the same thing as you are. So that is why you have to try as much as possible for you to make your YouTube thumbnail engaging and interacting. Now, every video must have its own thumbnail. For every video you are making, it must have its own thumbnail. And this is the reason why you need to know how to make your thumbnail. You don't have to pay people to make thumbnails. Yes, you have to sit on the system and make your thumbnail yourself. And I'm going to tell you the reason why you have to do that. Look, this may be boring. For every time you are making a video, you expect to be paying someone to make thumbnails for you. For every video, for example, you are about to make about 50 videos, and are you going to pay someone for making, which means you have to make about 50 different thumbnails for each video. So it's better for you to know how to make it yourself, so that it will not be boring while using YouTube as your source of driving traffic to your online business. Now the next one is graphic design software. What kind of graphic design softwares do you need in order to make thumbnail? These are softwares that you need in order to make YouTube thumbnails. You can use Photoshop, you can use CorelDRAW, you can use Adobe Illustrator or Canva.com. Any of these will do the work. And I'm going to explain this one after the other. The Photoshop is very convenient, just like what you saw there. I have been using Photoshop to create my thumbnails, and the reason is this: Photoshop is easier to learn. Within 4 days or a week, you should be able to have an elementary knowledge on how to make YouTube thumbnail or create some simple design on Photoshop. Then CorelDRAW is another amazing tool that you can use to make YouTube thumbnail. I also have a lot of tutorials in this channel that will walk you through step by step on how to make YouTube thumbnails on CorelDRAW. I have a lot in Photoshop. Adobe Illustrator is another one. It's also okay. We also have Canva.com. But the disadvantage with Canva.com is this: When you are making your thumbnail on canva.com, you have to be on data. You have to be running data. But using Photoshop, Corridor, or Adobe Illustrator is free. It's 100% free. You are not burning data and you are not paying someone to do it for you. You are sitting right in front of your system and making this yourself. But the advantage of canva.com is that it has pre-made tools, pre-made thumbnails that you don't need to stress yourself. All you have to do, click any one that you feel that is okay for you, click on it, drag it out, and start replacing the text and the image. That is why canva.com is better off for newbie. Now, Photoshop could be the best option for a custom YouTube thumbnail. Why? Like I said, because it is simple, it is easier, you can easily learn it within a week. You should be able to have an idea on how to use Photoshop. So that is why I'm going to encourage you to go for Photoshop. I'm not trying to sell anything yet. I'm just trying. If you really want to use YouTube to drive targeted traffic to your online business, if you have discovered the power of YouTube, then you should know that your YouTube thumbnail is very, very important, and you should be the one doing it yourself. Now let's go to the next one. The size of every YouTube thumbnail is 1920 by 1080p. 1920 means the wideness of your thumbnail, while the 1080 is the height of the thumbnail, and the P represents pixel. You have to be sure that while measuring this, your unit of measurement must be on pixel. It must be on pixel and not on any other unit of measurement like inches, millimeters, or centimeters. No, it has to be on pixel. Now, after creating a layer, just like what you saw there, I also applied background. I created a background. Look, I still have a lot of tutorials in my channel that will show you how to make a simple YouTube thumbnail. There are a lot of them. If you are not getting this one, if this one is not that clear to you, especially the way I designed the background, you can watch other YouTube thumbnail where I use simple background, solid background, without giving, that will not give you headache. Now let's go to the next one, which is the insert image. I'm just taking this one after the other. You can see when I wanted to create that thumbnail, the first thing I did was to insert a new page. After then, I created a background, and the next thing I did was to insert an image. And after the image, if you look at that, watch that video very well, I started adding my title, my text. And I'm going to say this: if you are using text, try to use a clearer typeface. There are a lot of clear typeface, and your typeface should be bold. Don't use something tiny like Times New Roman or agency. Don't use typeface like that. There are typeface that you can, by default, they will be on your system. Typeface like Impact system. We also have Megabo, Swiss, Futura. You may not see Futura in your system, but Impact will always be on your system. Area Black is also a good typeface that you can use to create your YouTube thumbnail. The beauty of your thumbnail depends on your graphic skills. Look, don't let this one bother you. The beauty of your thumbnail depends on your graphics. You don't have to bother yourself about the beauty, the concept. Look, you can always mimic other content creators, even on other niches. Just look at how their thumbnails look like. With that, you can mimic, you can create something from that. After all, they are not in the same niche as you are, and they also have different keyword phrases. So just look at how their thumbnails look like. Then use it to design yours. That is how it works. It's as simple as that. Now, lastly, after making your thumbnail, you need to save it as a JPEG or PNG file. Please don't leave your file format as PSD Photoshop document. It's going to be very heavy. It's going to be too cumbersome for YouTube to upload such file format. So you have to make sure that you bring it down to JPEG or PNG. These are light files that can easily be uploaded to your YouTube dashboard. Yeah, this is the end of my tutorial, and if you enjoyed this training, if you gain value in this training, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. This is very important, as YouTube use this to bring more of our video, more of my video to your doorstep. And thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Peace.